So president and founder of Sports Business Solutions, creator of the Clubhouse. Quickly from California, went to school at the U of A. I'm an Arizona Wildcat, bear down. Message over if you're a U of A fan, of course. Tough time for our athletic program, but I'm a U of A guy. Graduated in 2006 and started my career with the Phoenix Suns, working in the NBA. Started in the sales department, selling season tickets, groups, partial plans, servicing accounts, that sort of thing. Went from inside sales and grew my career at the Suns, and I spent 8 years there. So went from inside sales to a account executive, senior account executive, manager, director, senior director, and eventually became the VP of ticketing at the Suns. So oversaw all parts of the ticket sales business, and had a great ride there. Just had the itch to do something a little bit new and different. So I left the Suns on good terms. They were very supportive. I just kind of wanted a new challenge. And I decided to launch Sports Business Solutions, which is our consulting business, in the summer of 2014 after 8 years with the Suns. And we've been doing that ever since. I already gave you the talking points on SBS, so hopefully everyone's sort of on the same page there. That's a little bit about me. Let's have each of you guys do your quick intros. Let's welcome to the mic Jason Stein, who's our VP of Recruiting and Development. Jay, do you want to give kind of your quick background?
Yeah, sure. Thanks again, everyone, for hopping on here. So for anyone who I haven't talked to, I'm Jason. I run all the staffing and recruiting part of the business here at SBS with Bob. So my background is in the staffing and recruiting world. So came from outside of the sports industry, was recruiting for about 5.5 years in the government contracting sector. So worked with companies like Lockheed Martin, Boeing, Booz Allen, and things like that. Originally from the DC metro area. I'm the University of Maryland graduate, so I'm a Terp. For anyone back up there. And yeah, so I came and joined Bob after working in recruiting for a handful of years. Had a chance to meet Bob while I was doing some work with the sports media company. And he and I developed a relationship as probably about a year after Bob had started the company and had the idea of trying to build out more of our staffing department. So came on about 4 years ago coming up and helping really all of the staffing parts of our business from entry level to executive level and essentially everything in between. So really looking to help out and filling those gaps there. So that's, I guess, the long and the short of my quick background there.
I appreciate it, Jay. We were joking before that we needed to put you on a shot clock for
a timer over here. So if anyone
for your talking. So if you run a little bit long, I'll hop in and cut you off. But nicely done. And then we'll introduce to the microphone Mike Rudner. Look at that headshot. All you guys looking sharp in those headshots. But Mike's our VP of Business Operations. Mike, you want to tell them a little bit about your background?
Sure. And Bob, I thought this was around the horn. So my goal for today is just to get more points than Jay by the end of the call.
Yeah, seriously. Does that mean I get to be Tony Reale? You know, just,
yeah, you got to shave the sides of your head, but
yeah,
you know, we can do that after the call. So yeah, my name is Mike Rudner. I've been at SBS for about 3 years. I went to Syracuse, so for everyone that's messaging us, bear down. I hope to get some Cuse love on the chat. I know there's a lot of you that work in the sports industry. So I'm the VP of Business Operations, help out on the invoices and the client partnerships and a little bit of everything. But before, there's some orange love. So before I joined Bob at SBS, I worked at a company called IO Media for 7 years or 7.5 years. And if you're not familiar with IO Media, you've probably seen the virtual venue or a 3D seat selector where you can actually see your view from your seat. So I was the first sports hire there back in 2009, helped grow the company there, met a lot of people in the sports industry through that, and have helped leverage those relationships into to joining Bob 3 years ago at SBS. So really excited to kind of let everyone know just certain things we've learned over the last few years just working from home. So hopefully this can be helpful for you during this weird transition time.
Yeah. So Mike, I shared with them, and we'll have you go first. I worked on the team side at the Suns. So obviously it was in an office environment. We had a staff of about 50, not too dissimilar from a lot of sports teams. I think a lot of us are familiar with being in a large office space with a lot of people. So after doing that for 8 years, I transitioned from, having all of this interaction to being, and we have a little bit of a team now, but when I started the business, I was by myself. And so being alone sort of in my house, trying to figure out how to build a business, and now been working from home for 6 years. Mike, how long have you been working from home, and what was the environment like at IO? Were you in a similar situation?
Yeah, so, there was obviously an office at IO Media. There was, I was on the road a fair bit, probably every other week or something like that for a couple of days. But yeah, it's very different working from home. You know, one of the things I think there's more positive than negative, but certainly on the negative side, I do miss the human interaction, you know, grabbing lunch with the guys and talking about games from the night before, TV shows, although there's no games to talk about now. So, you know, it was definitely a transition period working from home 3 years ago, but overall, I really do enjoy it.
Good. Jay, how about you? Like, did you go from the office environment to work from home, and how long you been doing it now?
Yeah, so when I was working on the government side in recruiting, so we had it was a smaller group. I want to say at our height, we had about 6, maybe 7 people there full time. It was a small office, so we were very close, you know, corners together. And I was doing that for 5.5 years, and now with you, Bob, for 4 years that I've been working remotely. You know, and during that time, I moved down here to Florida. So definitely a little bit of an adjustment, you know, and I know we'll probably get through it a little bit more, but, you know, one of the things that I always tried to stick to was just keeping the routine the same from when I made that move. And to Mike's point, I think having the camaraderie of being around people took a little bit of time to get used to. You know, when I was with the other business and I was working in an office, we were there every day, you know, 7:30 in the morning to 6 o'clock at night. And so we were really close. We would do happy hour on Friday or, you know, or whatever it was. And so like those things definitely, you know, are nice to have and you miss it over time. But, you know, I think having the flexibility and autonomy and, you know, having the just ability to work from home is definitely you know, an advantage in a lot of different ways. It's just making that transition. I think the initial, you know, period and getting into a routine is helpful there.